Hello and welcome to the first Her Version Impact panel of 2022. We are opening this year with a bang in the female community, speaking about everything motherhood. This will be a great broadcast for you to listen in on if you are an expecting mother, a new mother, if you have 6 little ones running around the house, and everything in between. If you are a dad, we would love your support also. We have women from all walks of life opening up about the smiles, the challenges, the laughter, and the realism of what motherhood is. I am super excited about this impact panel. Let's jump right in. Hello and welcome to today's episode of Her Version. This podcast is dedicated to sharing stories of struggle to triumph, a platform that allows individuals to tell their truth in order to inspire and uplift others. For those of you that are new to this podcast and like content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow, like, and share. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria. This will be an interactive forum, and any comments or questions you post will possibly be selected to go on screen for the ladies to engage with you personally. Come with questions, worries, difficulties, and we will help you navigate through it. If you are watching this live or on the hashtag replay, we would appreciate if you share this to your followers so we can expand our reach. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to introduce our ladies. So we have several women here from all walks of life, and I would like each of you to introduce your name and where you are from, starting with Nicole.
Hello, everyone. I am Nicole Gayatri. I am from Costa Rica.
Hi, guys. I am Maureen Scanlon, and I am from Mesa, Arizona.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rachel Ulster, and I am from sunny South Florida.
Good morning. My name is Erica Hall. I am a mother of 6. I've been doing it for 25 years, and I am in Ohio.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tori Brame, and I am a mother of a 3.5-year-old. He's my only kid, and I am in Charleston, South Carolina.
Is that everybody? Charmin, did you go? Sophia?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sophia. I think I have an echo.
You do have an echo. Where are you from, Sophia?
I'm living here in New York City. I'm a hashtag boy mom.
Yes. Charmin? We can't hear you.
I'm Sherman Johnson, mother of 5, and from Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
Yes. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for joining me this early on a Saturday. I do hear a little bit of reverb, so if you have headphones, you might want to put them in because it might be you. I am going to hand the mic over to Charmin.
Hi.
Hello.
I said before that I'm a mom of 5, ages 28, 26, 23, 19, and 16. I have a junior in high school. Yeah.
I'm going to say, make sure you're talking into your mic because you're going in and out.
Oh, so I have to take the headphones out because the mic doesn't work on the headphones.
Oh, okay.
So
well, just maybe get closer because we can hear you, but it's kind of going in and out.
Okay. And so I mostly have young adults and teenagers now. So my question is, like, I was raising as a young mom my kids. We didn't have, like all the social media and cell phones and everything. It was much more simpler than it is now. I'm also a nanny, and I am helping other families, raise children in this technical age, where there's just a lot of everybody has cell phones and things and iPads, and so it's a whole other way of mothering. I feel like you have a lot more influence and a lot more things coming into your kids, and in a lot of ways it's scarier because they have access through YouTube and all the different the apps and stuff. And so I was wondering, some of my families, have really strict screen times, and some of them aren't allowing their kids to have cell phones, until like ninth grade or something. And but there's a lot of peer pressure that they're dealing with because their kids come home and they're like, everybody has a cell phone but me. And I was wondering if those of you who have the young or younger kids and and grandkids and stuff and are in that phase too, like that was like a question that I have. I think everybody's curious is if we all have similar rules, things like how do you handle this, and those they can compare because you've raised your kids without a lot of this stuff, and now we're just in this whole other world. Erica?
So it is hard because like I've even had to go back and ask my mom, like, I don't get this because I don't know what to tell you. Like, honestly, a lot of things that you're having to deal with, I never had to deal with you guys. It was way simpler. It was easier. There wasn't so much influence and things coming into our lives. I think that our rules and guidelines are situational based on each family. Again, no norm, but there should be at least a baseline of what's to what end? What's the purpose of this? To what end are we utilizing this device? And if you're showing good examples, then they're going to follow good examples. And if you're setting good guidelines, then they're going to follow good guidelines. So that really is up to you and what you're doing. But to completely withhold, I think is wrong because you're putting your children at a disadvantage. That is just the bottom line. Suck it up, guys. The world is tech savvy. And if you want your children to succeed, they are going to have to be. And it will be a disservice to them because they won't be prepared to prepare for life. This is part of our job now. We have to include this as part of what we're doing. We need it included. We did an entire year online, on school, on the computer, like without a human being actually really talking to them very often. Like, it is what it is. And so to keep fighting it, you're actually deterring your children from really getting into the scope of like, this is life now. So how can I utilize it responsibly? How can it not be a distraction in life? How can it actually help me in life? And really start addressing those issues in yourself, because then I think that helps us give guidelines to our kids and determine what you're okay with. But I mean, a lot of times they're going to behave the way that they see you behaving. So they're like, well, yeah, my friends have all these things, but so do you. And every time I talk to you, you're on that thing or you're doing that thing and it's on your phone, and they don't get it that well, I'm working. No, you're not. You're just on your electronics. No, I'm working. No, you're not, mom. You're just on your electronics. They're working too, right? Like, I get we're having all the conversations. And then being consistent. I mean, that's been my biggest thing is I do times where it's horrible and it's like they've had it all day and who cares? Really, in the long run, who cares? And some days it's like, okay, no, let's build in some more consistency. I look at the season too. It's winter time. And I don't know about you, but there's not much to do when it's freaking freezing cold. So is there balance? Are they still accomplishing what their jobs are? Like, if they are, then that's their free time. And if that's what they choose to do with their free time, who am I as a human being to tell them they can't be interested in that? That'd be like telling somebody they can't paint, so they can't do those things. And to them, that's just the same as what we grew up with. It really is to them. And so again, it goes back to, we just need to give ourselves a break. First of all, give ourselves guidelines, no safety things. I mean, there's courses you can take as a parent to kind of really know what's okay, what's not, and then just let it go and stop giving yourself a hard time about it. But the reality is they need tech, and to fight it is just to put your child at a disservice. So just know what level you want in your household.
Maureen?
I love this question because, Charmin, you and I understand now that we have older children, the integration of technology and the advancements. So it started out with my kids on dial-up with Oregon Trail, and my grandchildren, my one granddaughter, she's been using an iPad since she was 1 year old. I mean, So, it's one of those, you can fight it or you can embrace it. And I have 2 words. It's trust and monitoring. So trust that your children understand what the expectations are and monitor where they can go. And I think technology can be great. I mean, as a Gen Xer myself, I'm having a hard time with technology, but I know it's something I need for my business. Before COVID, I did face-to-face coaching, loved it, and thought, oh, the energy is great. And then COVID happened, and I'm like, oh man, I got to do this whole video thing, and I don't think it's going to be the same, and something's going to be missing. And so I'm learning to embrace it, but this is their generation. This is the norm, and I'm using the norm world because the norm word, because it is the norm for them. But I also like what you said, Erica, about the creativity. So to see my 8-year-old granddaughter do Animal Farm and be creative, and she's really interested in being a video game creator at 8 years old. I wanted to be a ballerina, for crying out loud. So, to see the advancement and the intelligence at such a younger age, because they do have to figure it out. And what I love is there's a lot of problem solving involved. I'm one of these, I click on the computer and it better work. And if it doesn't, I want to beat my head against the computer and throw it. But my grandkids are like, oh, grandma, it's really easy. Just do this and do this and do this. So I think it's instilled a lot of problem solving skills. And then my 14-year-old grandson lives with me now, and he's got a lot of anxiety. And for him, that's an outlet. And, he does other things outside. I encourage a balance. So I don't want him sitting on video games all the time, but he's a skateboarder. He plays drums in the band. But I also know there's a time in the evening where he has a hard time sleeping, and this is a good outlet. And the advancement is from Atari in my day to now they can talk to people and interact socially. So that's the piece I think I've always worried about with electronics was, are they missing the social interaction? And I can see that they're not, because they're doing Roblox and they're, with their friends. So the social piece, technology has gotten to where we can sort of integrate all of it. So I think technology is great as long as it's like anything else. Too much of a good thing is too much. So everything in moderation. But I think it's a necessity for this generation to be the scientists and the engineers and the creators that they are, to have this exposure, obviously, to technology. But we just have to watch and monitor. So thanks. Miss Sabrina.
The rule that I've had with my son, I still remember the day that I took off the parental rules that you have on your kid's phone, so they can't do certain things. I don't remember how old he was, but I remember the day that I had to take his phone and turn all those off, because he's just like, I'm old enough now. I should be able to do all the things now, Mom. That's enough of that. And my heart just hurts. But my son is actually, I call him my IT guy. He knows all the things computers. He's helped me out so much. So I appreciate it. But the rule that I have with my son is I will always trust you until you give me a reason not to trust you. And that is a continuous rule in our home. Thank you. And I repeat it, consistently whenever it comes up. And he knows that. And I can say, again, not saying that this is normal, but for real, I have actually never looked at my kids' phones. My kid's phone. I know that most parents are like, you need to go through the messages and you need to blah, blah, blah. And I get that. And I agree with it. I'm not disagreeing with any of that, but I've actually never done that. And I don't know if that's good or bad. I guess we'll find out one day, but I trust him. I trust him fully. I make sure that he knows that I trust him fully. And again, it's an experiment, right? It's an experiment. I don't know. But if I continue to tell him that I trust him, if I continue to tell him that I trust him until, there will be rules once you are in not doing things respectfully. And we'll see how we'll come back together in 5 years. And I'll let you know how it worked out. But that's where I am right now at 17 years old. So
Sophia?
That's Sabrina. So I have 3 boys, and this was a hard, just because of my personal story, this was a hard thing for me to, I realized, like, going in, like, oh my God, I have boys. They're gonna love technology. And then as things are different now, this is how they socialize. When they had to be on, that's what they were doing. Their friends were there, everything. And so I had to figure out, what can I have around this, hang on, um, and let them hang on. Just it was really challenging for me. And so what I'm doing was, just making sure, like we talked about, safety, making sure they know what's safe, what's safe. And we had a nice family, conversation about and what they also know that I'm in their business. Like, I'm one of those parents. They'll be in, different parts of the house. I walk around. What are you watching? And they know, like, they know if mommy's always monitoring, mommy's making sure that they're safe, then they need to be responsible. And so, I do love the fact that they're learning so much and they're using technology to learn. Like, my little guy, I mean, he had to learn how to navigate Zoom, and he can open up the computer and he knows what to do. Mommy, I don't need your help. And I'm like, okay. I really have enjoyed seeing the way technology has been integrated into their lives, and I just own, I guess, triggers, you can call them, around them, and just help, like I said, what's safe, what's appropriate, and that they can have fun with technology. Now, I will say my oldest one, he wants a phone, and I'm like, I'm not ready for that yet. Talk to me in a couple years. I don't know. We'll see, because all of his friends, he's in middle school, and all his friends have phones. My parent, like, I don't know. So we'll see. But it has been an interesting time. So
Rachel?
You're on mute.
It does that every time I lose you guys. Sorry. Because of the divorce, my son had a phone very early because I wanted to be able to communicate with him privately during the time that we were still trying to get along. And so he's had it forever. In fact, this morning he got up early and came down here and set up my computer and got everything live and went into my emails. And I said, I'm not sure where the link is. Sabrina gave like 6 links. He goes, Mom, I got it. And he went in and he went to my emails and clicked all the, he goes, no, she set you up right here. And then he clicks it on and he gets everything ready to go. And he helps me out with technology a lot. And he's 12. And so the good part of that is that you're right. His brain, do you women feel that their brains are wiring differently than ours? Like, they see the world differently. They're seeing more 5D than we are because of the way that they've grown up. But I did, since he was about 4 years old on, he knew exactly what to do online. I had and this is important, I'll try and keep it quick. My friend's kid was going online on the internet, and it turns out she had gone into a chat room that was for pedophiles. And she's like 9 or 10, and she's talking back and forth, and the parents think she's playing Roblox. And she was very close to having that guy come into the house because she was so close to giving out her address. And somehow the mother saw it. But right from the beginning, my son knew, and he plays on the TV, so I hear him a lot. Someone will say something to him and he goes, can't say. How old are you? Can't say. What's your last name? Can't say. Where are you from? Can't say. He just can't say all day long. And it's built into his curriculum now. And then as far as his phone, I'm like Sabrina. I've never checked it. I don't want to. We have so much trust and honesty between us. And I tell him, I have the ability to check this at any given time. I've got all your passwords. I've got everything. So if I get too suspect, know that I will find out what you're doing. And so that kind of trust and mothering at the same time is really tricky. But you can do it if you have that kind of open relationship with your kids, which it sounds like you have.
And I do want to say for Rachel and I, we only have one child.
Yes.
So, I want to add that in there. It's a little bit different when you're trying to, like, juggle 2 or 6, is some of you.
True.
So our story is a little bit different than I think a lot of moms out there. But yes, 100%. Listen, thank you, Charmin. I so appreciate every single one of you that popped on today to hang out and talk motherhood. This has been absolutely phenomenal. I appreciate, as always, for those of you that were able to stay past my allotted time of 11 o'clock. I think this has happened every single time. So I appreciate all of you that are hanging out a little bit after with us to close this up. For those of you that are still watching live, oh my gosh, we still have people watching live. Thank you so much for supporting us and listening in. For those of you watching on replay, make sure you hashtag replay so that we know that you are here and that you listened and that you're supporting the channel. As always, like, subscribe, share, and let everyone know that we're here. We're here and we're sharing the message of mental and emotional health within the woman culture. Woman culture. I just made that up. Sounds fabulous to me. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us here on Her Version. This community is expanding every single day and is filled with females who are striving to do better than they did yesterday. For those of you that are new to this podcast and like content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow, like, and share. If you have an amazing story to share of struggle to triumph, be sure to reach out to me here or at herversion.life. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria, and I'm so grateful to be here sharing a platform that allows people to share their truth and inspire others. Until next time, do something awesome today. Much love.